All right, guys.
Rodrigo.
He has like 4%.
I know.
All right, let's cover this. It's all good news. I got a jam-packed day today.
Right.
So, I guess this is, so Jay's in the bathroom? Huh?
Yeah.
So, okay, so he's gonna miss the whole meeting then?
Can't answer from the Moses.
All right, so check it out, guys. Very, very good news. So let's get through this, okay? You guys with me?
Yeah.
Okay, Amir. I'm gonna call you Amir in this meeting because that's your real name. So I'm gonna start off with something positive, right?
So you are calling in regards
When you
to
focus
the
on the
right?
positive, that's the direction you will go. When you focus on the negative, that is also the direction you will go. So that's gonna be the start of this meeting. So first off, let's address the white elephant in the room. I don't think a lot of you guys know who I am or why I'm here. I've known Mike Barrios for 30 years, but bottom line, I'm here and he brought me in to help you guys make more money. It's as simple as that. That's why I'm here.
Debt resolution loan center.
You know, you can go to school to get your MBA, you can get your doctorate, etc. Cool. But this is sales, man. You got a chance to write your own check. You guys got a ton of calls coming in. You don't need a cold call. You don't need a BS. You don't need a finagle. Jim Rohn said it best, a formal education will earn you a living, self-education will earn you a fortune. And that's what we're doing here. We're self-educating ourselves on the art of sales. You don't go to school to learn sales. You learn sales on the street, being street smart. And you learn sales on the phone or in person to be able to understand personality. So let me just tell you a little bit about my background. Amir, you pretty much know, but I've owned businesses since 2006. I've had my own marketing company. Mike and I have had businesses together. I had a student loan company that Mike had a branch of my student loan company at, same with Sergey. Helped them make a lot of money, did their marketing,
New name.
charged them a rip, and now they own their own student loan companies. So what I've been able to discover when I've been hearing you guys and seeing the defaults as far as first payment clear, number one, I've had a good chance to monitor you guys, and you guys are all awesome. You guys are here, you guys take the calls, you guys take it serious, and I think we have a really good team. I really do. Very impressed. It's very, very hard to find good people, especially in today's culture, in today's times. Everyone wants to play victim. Oh, why me? I earn this, I deserve this. And you guys don't have that poor man's mentality. You guys fight for your deals, and that's just amazing. But after looking at the numbers, our first payment clear, we're roughing about 40% right now, which is really, really low. Why?
Debt resolution loan center.
Well,
This is Moses.
I'll tell you
Who I
why.
have the pleasure of speaking
And
with
it's
today.
because the payments are being pushed out too far. So when I did debt settlement in Texas, we never really had a rule. I made my own rule. And I said 10 days out is the maximum. Is the maximum. I had the same issues. I had people that were on Social Security, right? So when someone says, oh, I can only pay March 1st, what I'm hearing, and no slap on your guys' face, what I'm hearing is no problem, that's fine. We'll go ahead and put it for March 1st. There's no attempt to try and get it in sooner. And I understand you guys are saying, well, they make $1,200 a month. Well, guess what? Our minimum income should be at least $1,500 a month. And you also want to make sure you're asking, are you getting any other kinds of income from friends, family members, child support, anyone helping you out with groceries, anything like that? Yes. Oh, okay. How much are you receiving? I get help about $600-700 a month. Okay, cool. So they went from $1,200 a month to $1,900 a month. Now you got more wiggle room. So what we want to be able to do is try 3 times to get that payment in sooner. 3 times, 3 strikes and you're out, okay? So the first one, you're gonna set that payment and you're gonna go for 3 days out, because as you guys know, that payment cannot be set until 3 days out due to the attorneys that have to do the quality control, their welcome call, and it takes a little bit of time. So when I did it, I would try and post things same day, because we had the ability to do that. With our attorneys, they need 3 days. So you're always gonna go for 3 days. So we're gonna set that payment for 3 days out, which is gonna be Monday, okay? Assuming. Now if they say, oh, I can't do that, I can only do that on the 1st. Well, you explain that there's a 10-day maximum. You say, okay, well, upon approval, you have a 10-day maximum to send your first payment in. Those are calendar days. So what we're looking at is Monday the 19th then is what we're looking at. So let's go ahead and set that up. It'll give you a little bit of time to move your affairs in order, potentially get some help, or maybe bite the bullet on a couple things. That way we can get you in and start working on your file and put this to rest. They say, no, I I can only do it on the 1st. Then you move into family and friends. Say, okay, well look, this is a time that you need help, and you're not asking for money to go on a vacation, you're not asking for money to buy new clothes, you're asking for money because you're in need. Your first payment's only $350. So it's not much. So you said you were getting about $600-700 of family help. Well, this is a time where we just need help on this first payment. And then we can work with you on all the other payments. We can, reschedule them, we can do whatever we need, but the first payment gets you in. So let's put our heads together, get some family, some friend support. This is the time where you ask. I've had to do it myself. It is what it is. Sometimes we have to ask, and this is going to benefit your life. It's going to take care of your debts. It's going to boost up your credit scores. And guess what? Your life is going to be on track so much that you're going to pay them back because they helped you. And you're going to feel good about it. So we're going to do that. Now, if all else fails and they still say no, well, we don't want to lose the deal. But you are going to tell them, well, I'm sorry. I can only set this 10 days out. I need to get management approval in order to set it out further. That's when you're going to grab me, and I'm going to get on the phone, and I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to vibe them, and I'm going to try one last attempt myself to get it in sooner. Now, if I talk to that person and they sound irritated, I'm going to divert, and I'm going to pivot. And I'm going to say, you know what, I'm looking this up here. I can see that you have a little bit lower of income right now, and I want to be able to help you. So I'm going to go ahead and approve it for March 1st, okay? My name's Anthony Smith. If there's anything else you need, ask Alan, ask Jay, ask Robert. I'm here for you. I'm going to patch you right back over to them, and they're going to set it up for March 1st, okay? So we're gonna start with that formula because again, you guys are here to make money, but we're at a 40% first payment clear ratio, which is really low. And again, I understand. But we're going to form some structure, and we're going to be there with each other and have second TO voices on every call where they can't do it within that 10-day period. Now, so that's the formality. That's the structure, okay? Now you got to ask yourself, well, what's in it for me, right? Well, here's the deal. Number one, you've got my support. I'm going to take that call. I'm going to do whatever I can to get that payment in sooner, but you have to try 3 times. You have to try 3 times, okay? And the 3 times, Jay, because you were out, the 3 times is go for 3 days out initially and assume it. Okay, we're going to schedule this payment for 3 days out. That way the attorney has time to do your welcome call. That's going to be Monday the 12th, okay? Push back. Oh, well, yeah, so we have a 10-day maximum upon approval, and those are calendar days. So we're looking at, the 19th, and so we'll go ahead and stretch it all the way back out there. That way it gives you time to settle your affairs, get things in order, and make it happen. And we'll set it for the 19th, and we'll go ahead and get started. Who do you bank with? Oh, no, I cannot do it until March 1st. That's when I get paid. Totally understandable. Totally understandable. Well, look, I'll put it to you this way. I've had to ask for help in my time of need, and I'll tell you what, it was a lot more than $350. And I had to call a few people in order to make that happen. This is a time where you have the ability, and not feel embarrassed about it, to ask for some help. I'm sure your friends and family know your financial situation. Your credit score is really low, so it's not like you can go apply for a credit card to bail you out. But I'll tell you this much, after this program, you're going to be in a really good situation. You're not going to have the debt, you're going to have a high credit score, and you're going to pay your family back. And that's going to be an exciting venture for you. And I'm confident in you and the loved ones that you have around you will be able to help you. We're only talking about $350. You're not going on vacation. You're not trying to get some new clothes. You're not trying to go to a concert. You're literally trying to put your financial affairs back in order, and the first payment is only $350. So I'm confident that you can make this happen. So I'd say let's stick with the 19th of the payment. You go get to work, make it happen. We'll get everything prepared in our back end. We'll send it to the attorney, and once that payment clears, we're going to get to work. We're talking power of attorney, cease and desist, written request, asking them to approve the debt. All of those details just on your first payment. So we want to get started so we can get you to the finish line, but we haven't started yet, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and get started on our end, but on the 19th when your payment clears, the attorneys are going to go to work like a bunch of hounds that just got out of the pound. Okay? Now, if that all fails, and again, you say, well, I only have the ability to go out 10 days, so I need to get management approval. So let me put you on hold, and I'm going to go ahead and get my manager, and he's going to get on the phone, and we'll see what we can do, okay? Fingers crossed, just give me a brief hold. Give them a brief hold. I'll come over. I'll get on the phone with them. Again, vibe with them, see where they're at as far as emotions and personality. And if I feel like I can try one more time to get that payment in within 10 days, I'm going to try. If I feel that they're irritated, I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm looking at this. I can see you really need the help. I'm going to go ahead and authorize this. We typically don't go out outside of 10 days. But for you, I'm going to go ahead and make that happen. So I went ahead and put in my codes. It's authorized for March 1st. I'm gonna patch you right back over to Alan or Jay or Robert or whoever it is, and they're gonna go ahead and assist you and complete this for you, okay? Any other questions, don't hesitate to give me a call. Now, here comes the good news, right? So I'm talking with Mike back and forth, like how can we get that number up? 40% first payment cleared. How can we get that number up? Well, there it is right there. We've got to have structure. We're going to set that payment within 3 days, right? So 3 days out. We're going to go for 10 days. We're going to go for family support. So 10 days is where we're at. So when I did debt validation, remember there was no rule that you had to set it 10 days out. Okay, that was my rule because I'm trying to get paid. I'm trying to get paid. So I would set that payment within a very short time frame, and I was the only person on that floor who actually made money my first month, because they actually have a pay period. Like, it's got to go through a formula, and it takes time to get paid. Here, whatever clears this week, you're eligible for payment that following week. Okay? So again, how can we get you guys more money and incentivize? Nothing motivates a salesperson more than money. It's as simple as that. So again, back and forth with Mike, trying to figure out what we can do. Okay, so we're at 40% now. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give you guys a goal. Okay, so we're gonna have meetings every Monday, every Friday. Okay, and we're gonna be succinct, and we're gonna be team, and we're gonna motivate each other. So here's what we're looking at. We need to get to this number collectively: 70% first payment cleared. What's that gonna do? Number one, that's going to boost up revenue for the company. Number two, that's going to give you guys more money in your pocket. Number three, guess what? If you guys get to that number on an individual basis, I'm not talking company-wide. We'll get to that at a later time, potentially Monday's meeting. But if you guys can get to that, which is very, very easy to do. I was at like 90%, and I'm not tooting my horn, but when you set the payment shorter and keep the hype going, they are more inclined to make that first payment than set it all the way out when life happens and a weekend passes, another weekend passes, they talk to this person, that person, they get all this negativity in their head. And remember what I said at the beginning of the meeting, which is going to be the context of this meeting. When you focus on the positive, that's the direction you will go. When you focus on the negative, that is also the direction you will go. So these people have 3 weeks, 4 weeks of all kinds of negativity. That's a scam. Don't do it. You can do this on your own. File bankruptcy, why don't you? That's what it's there for. But no, we don't want them to do that. We want them to get the right kind of help, because the bankruptcy will haunt them, validation won't. Okay, my mom did settlement, and I told her it's a scam and don't do it. She went against my advice and got a 720 FICO score after 12 months of being in the program. At that moment, I believed in it. I said, holy cow, my mom actually did this, and it worked. Wow, that was settlement, not validation. Okay, I was doing validation. But collectively, let's move that to Monday's meeting. Individual basis, you guys get 70% first payment cleared, and I promise you, if you follow this formula, this will be easy.
Where's he at?
This will be easy. And guess what you guys get if you get 70% of first payment cleared the first month, or in a month overall? You, look, we're being realistic here. Let's start with something. As we progress, it can only grow from there. But a month, so 1 month of this, you guys get $20 on every deal, retroactive for that month. Now, here's the kicker. You have to close 10 deals per week. That's 2 a day. That's nothing. Amir, when I first started, you closed 2 deals in the first hour I was sitting with you. Validations. Very doable. We had someone do 8 deals in a day. Very doable. So now let's just do the math, okay? We have a calculator here. Just so you can see unexpected income. Number one, if you guys are doing 70% first payment cleared, you guys are going to make more money because you guys are averaging 40% first payment cleared. So number one, that's already going to almost double your income. But let's just say 40 deals and you're at 70% that actually clear, okay? Times 20, that's an extra $560 at the end of the month, right? But it gets better, and we're starting with something. Okay, we got to start with something. Now, if you get 80%, that is $30.
Yeah.
Per deal retroactive. Very doable. Like I said, I was at 90%. I'm not tooting my horn, but I did things differently than everybody else on the floor. They were pushing it out and listening to what they say because they just wanted to get a deal. They wanted to get on board. They're having a bad day. They're not focused. They're not laser focused. They're not motivated. They're there and they're doing what they can do. And getting a deal is good enough because then they're on the board and they want to see their name go up the rankings. I didn't do that. I closed real deals. And I didn't close more than everybody else. I was maybe number 3 in the company. But I'll tell you this much, I made more than everybody else.
Facts, that's what I'm talking about.
So
right
I didn't
there.
close more than everybody else, but I made more than everybody else. And as far as the new recruits were concerned, I was the only person that made money that first month. And then it continues. It continues. So it pays a little bit different here. You know, Mike gives you flat rates of $200 a pop. That's good. I mean, I think I closed like 27, 30 something deals my first month, and it started like halfway through the month. And my pay was somewhere like $450 or something that first month, but then you continue and it continues and it continues. So it's paid differently. At least here you get a flat $200, which is really good actually. I don't know if you guys have researched other debt validation companies, but that's really good. There's no tier, you're getting it straight up, and now we got more money going. So now if you really want to have a kick-ass week, look, 24 deals is our record for the week, right? There's no reason why any of you can't close 20 deals a week. And you know why? Because I believe in all you guys. I would hire you myself at any one of my companies that I had, whether it was student loans, my marketing company, mortgages, whatever. I believe in you guys that much. So let's pump it up here. So let's say you're doing 20 deals a week, okay? Times 52 divided by 12, okay? That's 86 deals in a month. Times that by 70%, right? Because we're gonna leave 30% for fallout. That's 60 deals. 61 basically. Let's multiply that by 20. Now that's an extra $1,213 at the end of the month. So now we're talking, that's car payment. That's insurance. That's maybe a nice night out with your wife and still being able to pay a couple bills on the back end. Some credit cards so you don't have to go through our program. Right? You know what I'm saying? That's good money. Now if we bump it up to 80%, let's use that same logic. Okay, so we're gonna do 20 times 52 divided by 12 and then times 80%. So now that's 69. So times that by 30, that's $2,079. So now we're talking about some decent money here. That's money cash in hand that you were not expecting, that you weren't getting before, but now you can get. That's extra money. Okay? And that's just where we're starting off now. Once this works, which I know it will, we have the right team. I've got 3 people starting on Monday, potentially even more, and we'll get to that in a moment. I know Cheryl, you know, she sometimes sends some good ones, but we're gonna have some young bucks coming here that are hungry that wanna learn the business. Okay, so on Monday, I've got 3 people starting that are gonna start as openers.
Yo, just send his credit
So
reports.
that's it, yep. So now instead of 1 Cheryl, we got 3 gangsters plus Cheryl. Cheryl's like the cherry on top. But we got 3 gangsters that are coming in here that are gonna be pumping out credit reports for you guys nonstop. Nonstop.
But you gotta close them or you're gonna be one of those gangsters too.
Right. Well, you know, give them some grace in the beginning. You know, I'm gonna do whatever I can to support them, same with Mike. But, you know, you're gonna have that much more action, and that's how it's gonna continue to be. As they get trained and they get to the point where they can be closers, we're gonna transfer them over as closers, and I'll replace that seat with openers. I want this row right here, and as we progress and we pump this out, and we're doing 70%, 80% first payment cleared, I want 5 openers. 5 openers pumping this floor right here. Opener, 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 opener. All closers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
There's
14.
20, bro.
14 closers, where I got 1 desk too. 14 closers, 5 openers, with all that live traffic. You guys are gonna be crushing it. Crushing it. It's gonna change the dynamic, and you guys are money motivated now. And we have structure, and that's super, super important, is to have structure. I get it though. They say, oh, well, okay, I'll do business with you, but I can only pay this day. It's exciting. Okay, well, I would rather take some business than no business. But again, right now we're at a 40% first payment cleared. We're paying for these calls, paying rent, paying
Not
whatever we
just
gotta
that, but what you'll notice too on these payments, like the ones that you were showing me yesterday, they are, working with CLG on the back end, and they're stretching those payments out further, so it takes longer for you guys to get paid. They're still working them. Here's the catch. They're pushing them out further, which means that had you scheduled it sooner, you know, it's a cycle of the month. So they're actually scheduling it to when you should have scheduled it. Because if you put it at the end of the month, and then they stretch it out a week, that's technically where you should have made the payment in the first place. You know what I mean? That's what it is. But they're getting resold. They're getting resold again by CLG. Do your job and sell them and get that payment in. Because it's just a matter of time before you get it, but do you want to get paid now or later, right? Because you'll see that it says like before first payment. They're calling them on that time and they're rescheduling their payment a week later, which means that that is when, if you did your 3 days out, they had the funds. But you guys aren't even asking them. You guys aren't telling them. These guys don't want to be sold, they want to be closed. You guys know that.
So we're gonna set it out 3 days.
Yeah, at least
assume it.
try.
We're gonna set this payment out for 3 days. That way it gives our attorneys a chance to get the welcome call in, the quality control.
We see the notes with CLG guys, and you guys will put that payment out there, and when that day comes, they put the payment out a week or two from that day. Which is, if you look on a calendar, it's the cycle of like when you spoke, if you put it 3 days out or a week out or within 10 days. It's always that anyways. Except that they just got, I'm assuming when they spoke with them, these guys are rebuttaling. After talking to Baba and seeing like how he is and how he wants his team to be and have the information that he wants to share with these people and how he gets them excited with the program, that they're just reselling them and they're putting their payment out where you guys should have done it within 10 days or sooner, 3 days. But on the cycle, on the calendar, I mean, it makes no sense to put it out, 30 days, and then when that day comes, they're putting it out in 10 days. That means that you could have just done it in 3 to 10 days. This is psychological. It is, it's always been. So our minds are greater. We just have to help people that need our minds to help them.
Yeah.
Okay. So also, if you guys check your emails, we got some stuff where people were emailed like 4 times by CLG. And then they never replied. There's no notes in there, and it just looks like agents have abandoned them. That nothing was done on those deals, and that's easy money.
Yeah, notes are very important. If the notes aren't in there, it basically doesn't exist.
And with
Yeah.
the ACH thing, do not take debit cards. I mean, if you absolutely have to, but put it this way: they're gonna hit me for 30%. Then I got to pay you guys out, so I'm getting hit for like 50%. So your commissions are gonna be 50% on those, because that's like what the reality is on the hits that I'm taking on.
And at the end of the day, a debit card is still coming out of their bank, right? Unless they got some kind
Plus,
of
we
prepaid
have
thing, it's the same
Plaid
thing.
or Plaid, right?
The only thing is with the debit card,
Plaid.
if they change it, you can't charge them again.
Right, well, that's why we don't wanna do debit
Yeah,
cards at
with
all.
the ACH, you can
ACH
always-
is the way to go,
lock 'em
yeah.
in, and it's for the long haul. You want your clients to go through the program, you guys will get referrals. Once these guys start popping, once their mom's credit scores start going up, they're gonna be coming back with referrals. And
Yeah.
you can reach out to these people. You can see the progress on their files, on what they're working on. It's the real deal. I mean, they came in here yesterday, we spoke to that guy, he explained the whole thing even more. They're gonna give us, they replaced their management on their end to give us more information, more tools that we have, so that we have full confidence in our program and know exactly how it works, the whole process, and we can relay that confidence back over to the clients. Cause that's what you want, You want your clients to feel confident that they're gonna be represented by a badass law firm, which they are gonna be. So.
And that's the precedent that we're setting too. Closed mouths don't get fed. When you give them a deadline, it makes it feel more real for them, because it is. You guys aren't here to go through all that work and do all that click to sign and, nope, you gotta do this here, adopt and sign, initial, when I did this, I had struggles sometimes getting people to sign that. You don't wanna spend an hour of your time or 45 minutes of your time all to go through and then get an NSF or, have a back out or a cancel because all this time has passed and they've had all this time to think about it. You guys don't wanna go through that.
Also,
There's no point.
important
It's a
thing
waste of your
too
time.
Is, what's the best way, Robert, to say, don't pay the creditors, but without saying don't pay the creditors?
I can't ethically tell you to stop paying your bills, But what I can tell you is that the clients that we enrolled into the program are in a true hardship. In order to demonstrate you're in a true hardship, yeah, they stop making payments to the credit.
Or something to the effect of like, you know, most of our clients, they decide that since they're going in the program and they're gonna get this debt removed anyway.
Because that's the way AmeriCorps explained it.
Well, how did
about the
CLG
hardship.
explain last? CLG ended with the choice is yours to make that payment.
So
But
you're not telling them what.
yeah,
to
you
do?
don't
I
tell
can't
them not to
tell
make
you
the
what
payment.
to, like,
Kind of
stop
telling them
paying
without
your bill.
telling them.
But
So we're not. I'm not gonna tell you not to pay your bills, but most of our clients they tend not to,
In order to
especially
show
since
an
they're
true
gonna,
hardship.
you know, the debts are gonna be in the program. But we'll leave that choice up to you. And I'll get it from Baba exactly verbiage that's gonna work best, but never tell them not to make their payments, like, cause they can't. If we do, they pull that recording, which
Yeah.
they can do, and then we have to refund them
and we
all
don't
that
just
shit.
mean like a few days from that enrollment. We're talking about months,
How is it
even
in
a
the script?
year and a half down the line.
Yeah.
They can pull that recording and.
How is it in the script? Read the part.
For our clients, they have chosen to stop making
For our
their
clients,
payments.
they have chosen
Exactly,
to
they
stop
have
making.
chosen to stop making their payments.
We don't
to
tell
their
them
creditors.
to stop making.
They
payments.
have chosen.
They have chosen.
Right
Yeah,
there in the
right
script.
there. So stick to the script.
Yeah.
They have chosen,
Yeah.
but we don't tell them to
What
not
to
make their
do, but
payments.
this is what people do.
Morning, Cheryl. So,
And you're not CLG, you're not the attorney, you don't represent the attorney, you're affiliate to the attorney with the enrollment.
you got anything to chime in, AP?
We're not CLG.
Well, let me finish this last part here. So,
Okay. Hold on.
so guys, when you get an NSF, you guys have the alerts on Debt Pay Pro, okay? You guys got 48 hours, I already talked to Mike, this is something that was already on the floor before I got here. You guys got 48 business hours to try and reset that payment with notes. Okay, we wanna be able to develop retention. So after that 48 hours, you know, if you guys don't have notes in there, I guess you guys don't want the deal then.
Shark Tank.
Right, well, they'll be assigned.